What is up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to fly on the VATSIM network using the Airbus A320 from Fenix. We're going to be flying from Gothenburg to Oslo, and the website that I'm going to be using for our VATSIM flight planning is going to be simaware.ca. I'm quickly going to go over this website and show you everything that you need to know. It looks very complicated, but um, in the end, it's not that um, difficult to understand what's going on. These planes obviously are self-explanatory. These are just players on the VATSIM network that are flying right now. And then we have the air traffic controllers that are online. And then we have the air traffic controllers that are airport specific. And then we have these approaches and centers or control that are online as well, which manage the uh, airplanes that are outside of the airport. So, like I said, we're going to be flying from Gothenburg to um, Oslo. It's going to be a short, a short flight of just about 40 minutes, and um, I'm just going to take you through everything you need to know to do your first VATSIM flight. So the first thing that you usually want to do if you are on this website is to just see which air traffic control is online, and obviously you want, if you're on VATSIM, you want to have as much coverage as possible. So pretty much anything in this region would be good. Any flight in this region would be good, if, or from this region to this region. You don't want to fly somewhere here because these are not online, and obviously the other airports are also not online. So you just want to find something that has something like a letter. So I'm going to go over the letters right now and what they mean. Let me find somewhere with full ATC. Okay, so this airport, so this is pretty much the maximum amount of air traffic control that you can have. You have the delivery that's online, you have the ground that's online, you have the tower that's online, then there is an approach, and then outside the approach is a center. So this is like the ultimate setup that you can have. It also explains why it's very busy. As you can see, there's a lot of people on this airport, which is also a reason why I didn't start from here, because then the frequency is going to be very, very busy. And with explaining VATSIM, you want to start with somewhere that's not that busy. But at the same time, you do want the air traffic control to be online, because otherwise there's no one to talk to. So then there's also no tutorial to make. But this is extremely busy. But yeah, that explains why it's busy, because there's a lot of air traffic control online. So that's how you make the most out of your VATSIM flight. Find something that's obviously you want to start up with an airport that's maybe a little bit smaller, with less ATC, with less people, and then work your way up to something that's something it looks like something like this. So yeah, to go over the letters real quick. So in air traffic control, in VATSIM, you pretty much talk to air traffic control your entire flight here and there. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But you start with the delivery, which is the blue one. The delivery pretty much gives you clearance to your destination. So they give you the clearance, they give you an initial flight level to go to climb at after takeoff. They give you your squawk code, which you have to fill in the aircraft, and they also give you your departure SID, so the standard instrument departure. Or they'll tell you to fly runway heading or maybe some other instructions, but you get the idea. So after delivery, you want to ask for pushback and start. So pretty much start of the aircraft, push it back on the taxiway. That's the responsibility of the ground crew, which is the green one. They are responsible for pretty much anything that's moving on the ground on the airport. So that could be taxiing, that could be pushing back, all that kind of stuff. And then the tower is responsible for all the flights coming in and going out from the airport. So think of landing clearances, takeoff clearances, all that kind of stuff. And they're also the ones that are going to hand you over to uh, the approach, and then the approach hands you over to the control. And the control and the approaches pretty much have the same task. Um, the approach obviously wants to vector you and line you up for the runway, and if you're departing from there, they will um, vector you to your destination. Uh, Pretty much give you clearance to climb to a certain flight level. They can give you a heading direction, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. So we're going to be departing from ESGG, which is Gothenburg. And one thing that I like to do is write down the frequency that I'm going to need. So I'm quickly going to write down the ground frequency, which is 121.905. And then as you can see here, there's no tower online. So what does that mean? Is there no one to give me clearance for takeoff at this airport? Well, pretty much how VATSIM works is if there's no controller online, the controller above that one is going to be responsible for everything that goes down until there's ATC again. So there's no tower. So that means that the go-to-work approach is going to fill in the gap between the ground and his frequency, which should be the tower frequency. But since tower is not online, this guy is going to be responsible for that. So we're going to write down his frequency, the approach on 124.680. As you also might notice, there's also no delivery, the blue one we had over here. So that means that the ground is going to be responsible for that. So that's pretty much how it works. So to go back into the sim, I've already started up the aircraft a bit, still waiting for the aiders to align. So this is not going to be a tutorial on how to operate the aircraft, because obviously if you're on VATSIM, you should already know how to fly the plane that you want to fly in VATSIM. And you should know how to fly it good, because you're going to be given instructions, that kind of stuff. You need to know how to translate the instructions into the aircraft. So yeah, if you feel confident that you're good in flying with the plane you're flying, only then you should be on VATSIM. That's something I would recommend. But obviously you can see it out for yourself. So yeah, I was busy with starting up the aircraft. I think we are good. I've set up the MCDU. The weather system is on. So this part is pretty important for air traffic control. For the VATSIM, and this part as well. So like I said earlier, delivery gives you your squawk. So standard squawk right now is 7,000. This should be on auto. This should be on TA. And this is what we're going to get from air traffic control. So before we're going to connect to VATSIM via vPilot, there's one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, and those are the A's you can see. So you can see a lot of A's. A's is not an air traffic controller, it's the ATIS. So the ATIS is this little text that you can see over here. Let's go to our own airport. As you can see, we have a pretty short ATIS, but ATIS is like, it gives you weather information, it gives you it tells you which runway is in use. So right now we will be given runway 21. It gives you information about the wind direction, the knots, the QNH, all that kind of stuff. So it also gives you a letter. As you can see at the beginning, it says ATIS and November. We need to write down this letter because we have to confirm this with the air traffic control that we have read the ATIS or listened to the ATIS. Because you can also listen to it. There's a few ways you can go about. You can just see it from the website over here. You can tune into this frequency, which is 118.380, which is pretty much like a robot that's on repeat. It just reads out this information. If you want to do that more realistic, if you just want to read it out from here, that's also possible. And if I'm gonna connect to vPilot, you'll be see the ATIS here as well. And if you double click on it, you can see the exact same information as well. So there's a few ways you can check that information. But let me go back and tell you what I did here. So here you just put your call sign. We're going to be on Scandinavian Airlines today. The Scandinavian call sign is SAS, and then our call sign is Scandinavian 15 Charlie. Our type code is A320 because we are on the Fenix. You just have to check what type code is applicable for your aircraft. So, yeah, we are now connected to the VATSIM network. If there were any people online on this network right now, as you can see, there's one plane over here. And that's it for this airport. There should be one more behind us. I don't know where that one is. Oh well, maybe it already is taken off because the website is a bit slow. It's not that. Yeah, I think you already took off. But But that's good because now the frequency is not going to be that busy, so we can take our time, and it allows me to explain a lot of stuff to you guys. So I've written down the frequency, so the first thing you can do is put the frequency in here, which is 121.680. There we go, tune in. And then something that I like to do is already put in the next frequency as well, because then it's already in your system. The only thing you have to do is press on this one and then it will switch. And this one is, oh wait, I made a mistake. It's 121.905. And then this one is 124.680.
Right, 21 Alpha, ready to push and start. Nordic 21 Alpha, push and start approved, face north. Face north, ready, 21 Alpha.
Alright, so you can see already this guy on our left has asked for pushback clearance. And the controller gave him instructions on that as well. And as you can see, he is moving now. So this is a real player right now on the VATSIM network. And if there were more people connected here, then oh, this plane is a little bit bugging. If there were more people on this airport, then we would see them as well. So like I said, the first thing is the delivery. But because ground is online right now, we're gonna.
Navigate Sigurd Adam, plats 41, redo taxi.
Sigurd Tore Adam, du kan taxa till väntplats bana 21 via Ludvig och Yngve.
Taxa väntplats bana 21 via Ludvig och Yngve, Sigurd Tore Adam.
Alright. So that's the exact reason why I wanted to fly on an airport that's not that busy, because this is not that bad, but if there was a lot of people, then it would be just constant talking and it would be no way for me to explain how VATSIM works. But yeah, so as I was saying, we're going to be talking to the ground controller because delivery is not online. So we're going to say something like good evening, Gothenburg ground. We're Scandinavian 15 Charlie at gate 20, I think. Yeah, we're on gate 20. We're requesting IFR clearance to Oslo. We are an A320 and we have information November. And then he is gonna talk back to us. So we called him up. He calls us back and he gives us our departure clearance. And the important thing is that you have to take a piece of paper and a pen to write down everything he says, because you have to read that back to him, and then he's gonna tell you if you write that back correctly or not. So it's gonna be that's gonna be our first interaction. So we're gonna take this step by step. We're gonna call him up, and then you'll see by yourself how that works. I'm gonna quickly go over to Navigraph and import our flight in here as well. I'll show you. We are currently at Gothenburg. As you can see, stand 20. So we're gonna have to say Landvetter, which is the airport we're at. Something like good evening, Landvetter ground, and then read our clearance to him. So yeah, without further ado, let me call him up. Landvetter ground, good evening, Scandinavian 15 Charlie at gate 20, requesting IFR clearance to Oslo. We're an A320 with information November.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, cleared Oslo via Saabak 3 Juliet departure, initially 5,000 feet, squawk 5325.
Cleared to Oslo via the Saba 3 Juliet departure, initial 5,000, squawk 5325, Scandinavian 15 Charlie. Alright, he didn't say anything. Usually they talk back to say that your readback was correct. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I guess we are cleared. So he gave us our initial climb to 5,000. So we're gonna put that into the flight control unit. He also gave us our squawk, which is 5325. Let me zoom in a bit on this, so we can change this 5325. And I've already set up the MCDU, but that was based on the flight plan. So he gave us the exact departure from our flight plan, but he could have also given us a different one because there are a few departures from runway 21. And you can see them over here. There's a Saba 3 Juliet one. Oh, I think there's just one for this one. Okay, so for this flight there will be only one. Oh no, never mind. There's also Saba 3 Mike. I don't know if it's on the same runway, but some runways have more standard instrument departures, which are the SIDs. So yeah, sometimes they can give you a different one as well. So you have to listen very carefully if they give you the one on your flight plan, or maybe they give you a new one or a different one. But everything is set up now as we planned it, so that's good. We're gonna start up the aircraft by turning on the APU master switch. Wait a few seconds, turn on this button here as well. We'll wait for our APU to be available, and then the next step is for us to call ground again and ask him for pushback and start. So if we had delivery online, which is the blue one I showed earlier, then this would be the switch from delivery to ground, because delivery cannot give you the clearance for pushback and ground. Like I said, everything that's moving on the ground should be only handled by the ground controller. So delivery would be like, thank you for contacting me. Please contact ground on X frequency. And then he gives you a number to copy or a frequency to copy. And then you put that into the aircraft. So let me, just to show you guys, to make it easier. So we have a delivery here on 121.680. We ask for clearance, and then he says contact ground on 121.605 for pushback and start. And then you say, all right, 121.605 for pushback and start. And then you switch to the ground controller, and then you're gonna talk to him. So there's a few more people right now. This guy just landed, I think. So we're gonna wait for APU to be available, which is right now. We can turn off the external power, go to the EFP and the ground services. The GPU can go off, chocks and cones can go away as well. Connect the tug. We cannot start it yet because we obviously are not cleared for pushback and start. So APU is on. I haven't turned on the engines yet, because that's also something you have to wait for after you get clearance. So we're gonna call him up and ask for pushback and start. And what I like to do is always anticipate on what he's gonna tell.
Sigurd, Tore, Adam, redo vid väntplats, bana 21.
Sigurd, Tore, Adam, då kan du kontakta approach på 124,680. Ha det bra.
124,680, Sigurd, Tore, tackar så mycket, hej.
So as you can see,
Lufthansa 8 Alpha Sierra taxi stand 15 via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi 15 via Yankee Hotel.
so what I was saying, the guy before this guy that was talking.
Nordic 21 Alpha request taxi.
Nordic 21 Alpha taxi holding point runway 21 via Hotel and Zulu.
Nordic point runway 21 via Hotel and Nordic 1 Alpha.
So yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. This is not even that bad, but it could be even worse if there's more people talking. So it's yeah, that's gonna be a bit annoying. I hope it's not that that much talking. But anyways, so one thing I like to do is anticipate, and he's probably gonna tell us to face north. So that's probably what he's gonna say, because we are gonna go off from runway 21. So yeah, and like I was saying earlier, the guy was getting in handoff from ground to the approach. So then approach will be responsible for taking off. I think this guy is about to take off. Or he's already taken off, I don't know. Anyways, let's get moving. Let's ask for a pushback and start on the ground controller. So I'm going to call him up. Land Vetter ground requesting push and start for Scandinavian 15 Charlie.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, push and start approved, face north.
Push and start approved facing north, Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So like I said, he gave us the instruction to push and start to face north. All right, let's set the emotion, turn off parking brake, start, and we should be moving in a sec.
And all stations Landvetter to ground will be closing in about 5 to 10 minutes.
All right, so this guy's closing, which is fine, because there's still approach online. But I should think we should still be able to get our taxi clearance from this guy before he goes offline. So that's fine. So this guy behind us is gonna get instructions to either wait for us or I don't know how that's gonna work, because he is gonna go to stand 1-5 as I heard earlier on the radio, which is more over there. So I think he's gonna have an instruction to wait here, or we are gonna have an instruction to wait. It's either one of the two. That's also something that's important. You can get instructions on the ground, so you always have to be focused if you.
And Nordic 2-1 Alpha, contact approach 124 decimal 680.
You always have to be ready for that.
680 Nordic 1 Alpha. Okay.
So I have a strong feeling one of us is gonna get instructions over here. Maybe over here. We'll have to see how that works. So the first engine is available. I'm gonna turn on engine 2. Engine 1 as well. We are gonna put the auto brake on max. Arm the ground spoilers. Flaps 1. Our seatbelt sights should be on. Taxi lights on. Runway turn-off lights on. Strobe on. Let's wait for our engines to be ready. Yeah, we're not gonna get instructions because this guy's gonna be there earlier. But if, for example, I already had clearance to taxi, then he would either say wait for the Lufthansa to pass, or he would tell the Lufthansa to stop, hold short there, and wait for me to pass, something like that. So you always have to be ready for those kind of call-outs. I'm not sure what's going on here. Is this engine ready or not? I think it's about to be ready. I'll put the parking brake. Our parking brake's already on. Yeah, it's available. All right. Put the engine selector back to normal. See the takeoff config. Have to check the cabin, and we're gonna call ground for taxi clearance. So, like I said, I like to anticipate these kind of things. We're probably gonna get Hotel Zulu to runway 21. Let's see what happens. Landvetter ground requesting taxi for Scandinavian 15 Charlie.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, would you be able to take Juliet to your left?
Affirmative.
Yeah, Scandinavian 15 Charlie, taxi holding point runway 21 via Juliet and Zulu.
Taxi to holding point runway 21 via Juliet and Zulu. Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So actually he told us to take this turn. He asked if we could make it. Looks like we can make it. So we're going to be able to take this turn over here, and then Zulu all the way over here to hold short at this dotted line. So let's get the parking brake off, get the engines moving, and make a steep turn, or a strong left to the strong turn to the left here. But that should be no worries for us. And then take the first right, because this taxiway is Juliet, and then as you can see over there as well. And then Zulu will be this one on our right. And you can see here Yankee is the one behind Zulu. So yeah, we're going to be taxiing to the runway. While we're taxiing, we can still get instructions if there are more aircraft on the ground, like I said earlier. But if there's nothing, we'll get a call out for a radio frequency switch to tower. But because there's no tower online, we're going to get a frequency switch to approach, and then he's going to give us clearance to take off into Sweden, basically. So let's see if everything is set. Going a bit fast here, I think, but that's all fine. We have the next frequency set up. We should be getting a call anytime soon here, because we're nearing the holding point of runway 21, which we were cleared to. So we cannot go past this line, obviously, because we did not get clearance yet. We're gonna make this turn, and if he does not
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, contact approach 124.680, bye.
contacting approach on 124.680, Scandinavian 15 Charlie, thank you, bye. As I was saying, if he's not gonna contact us, we can call him, but he called us just in time. We already filled this in, so we can switch and ask approach for clearance. So this is the guy we're going to be talking to next, the Gothenburg approach. He's been online for quite some time, so hopefully he stays on until we are on our next destination, which is our next radar, which we Polaris control. But we'll see you for that. So the Gothenburg approach, we're going to call him up and ask for takeoff clearance. Gothenburg approach, good evening, Scandinavian 15 Charlie, holding short of runway 21, requesting takeoff clearance.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, hello, Göteborg approach, wind 200 degrees, 10 knots, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Runway 21 clear for takeoff, Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So that's pretty...
Nordic 21 Alpha, monitor Unicron, bye-bye.
Monitor Unicron, Nordic 21 Alpha, good day.
That's pretty much the thing you have to ask here, is just for takeoff clearance. He either tells you to...
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, bana 21 användning, vinden 200 grader 10 knop, Kunhöge 1011, angör höger bas, bana 21, 1500 fot eller under.
Höger bas, bana 21, 1500 fot eller där under, Kunhöge 1011 och vi begär några varv i trafikvarvet med studsgå, Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf.
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, uppfattat.
So as I was saying, for takeoff you just ask for takeoff clearance and they can either clear you right away.
Sigurd Tor Adam begär frekvensskifte för Borås eller Unicom. Sigurd Tor Adam, du har klart lämnat frekvensen. Hörs snart igen.
Either you get cleared off for takeoff, or they tell you to line up and wait, or they just tell you to hold position. It's either one of those things. Not much special going on over there. We're gonna line up real quick. Put the parking brakes back on. Set the timer, turn off the packs, and yeah, let's get out of here.
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, Göteborg.
Ja, Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, kom in.
Både Göteborg, eller förlåt, landet i ground och Göteborg approach stänger alldeles strax, så vill du landa istället eller vill du fortsätta vara trafikförut?
Ja, men då tar vi och landar faktiskt. Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf.
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, uppfattar. Klar inflygning, bana 21.
Klar inflygning 21, Ludvig Rudolf.
So once we're in the air, there's more VATSIM action. Right now there's not much we have to do or say. But once we're up in the air, we have to tell them our altitude. Also have to change the altitude to tell them to send altitude information to air traffic control. I'm going to do that in a sec. As we're reaching our V rotate speed. Yeah, put the gear up. Ground spoilers. Yeah, so let's put this one to TARA. And once we're above 1,000 feet, we can tell them our position. And then he will give us more instructions, or he will just say nothing. This would be the point where we switch from tower to approach, but because there was no tower, this is already approach. Just to put that in perspective. Gonna retract the flaps over here. But I'll climb, detent. And we're gonna call him up and see if we get more instructions. Gothenburg approach, Scandinavian 15 Charlie, passing 17, flight level 17.
Oh, report altitude.
I think we just talked to each other. Gothenburg approach, Scandinavian 15 Charlie, altitude is flight level 20.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, thank you. Climb flight level 150.
Climbing flight level 150, Scandinavian 15 Charlie.
Säger Ludvig Rudolf, vinden 200 grader, 10 knop, bana 21, klart landa.
21, klart landa, säger Ludvig Rudolf.
So he cleared us to 150, flight level 150, which is 15,000 feet. I'm just gonna put the autopilot on at this point and let the plane do its work. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that's that you have to do for from start to takeoff and being in the air for now. We can check ourselves on the radar as well. We are oh, we have to turn on the bags. Yeah. QNH on standard. So the first piece of instruction that we got was to go to flight level 150. You can also give heading, all that kind of stuff. But let me see where we are over here. Yeah, this is a bit, like I said, delayed. But this is where we are, and then we're gonna make a right turn up to Oslo. So yeah, this is the first part. I'm gonna cut the video in a bit, and then the next part of the tutorial will be probably cruising altitude, and then
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, clear direct Sabak.
we got a clear direct to where? Scandinavian 15 Charlie, can you please repeat?
Clear direct Sabak.
Clear direct Sabak for Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So he told us to direct up to
Gothenburg
Sabak.
approach, hello, Finland 2 Kilo Echo,
So we're
descending to
gonna
flight
do
level
that.
100.
Finland 2 Kilo Echo, hello, Göteborg approach, radar contact, clear the Risma 3 Sierra, arrival runway 21, descend flight level 160.
Cleared Risma 3 Sierra, arrival for runway 21 and descend flight level 160, Finland 2 Kilo Echo.
Alright, let's put the turn off the landing lights. Retract them. Turn off the seatbelt signs. And yeah, so the next
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, climb flight level 300.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, climbing to flight level 30, Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So the first piece of information we got was to climb to 15, then the next one was...
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, jag precis vet att Martin kommer in här. Så om du vill flyga touch and go landing så får du gärna göra det. Men ja, det bestämmer. Göteborg kommer varna in.
Ja, men då kan vi ta ett par varv till så bekräftar vi har klart för en utflygning här.
Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, jag är klar i höger trafikvarv, 1500 fot eller därunder. Och bana 21 klart starta.
Höger trafikvarv 1500 fot minus, bana 21, Sigurd Ludvig Rudolf, klart starta, bana 21.
So yeah, like I said, the first thing we got was climb to flight level 150, then we got clear direct to Sabak, and then we got a instruction to flight level 30. As you can see, we're not following our standard instrument departure, because we were cleared to Sabak right away. So it's pretty much like a shortcut, we didn't have to go all the way like this. I think somewhere over here he just told us to go to Sabak. So yeah, there's that. So at this point of the flight, you can just check.
Scandinavian 15 Charlie, contact Polaris 127.250.
Contacting Polaris on 127.250 for Scandinavian 15 Charlie. So I was about to say we're gonna go to the next frequency, and he tells us to go to the next frequency. So he gave us the 127.250. So we are gonna go over there and tell him that we are on his radar.
Finland 2 Kilo Echo, information Oscar valid, intention ILS approach number 21, descend flight level 100.
So I'm gonna cut the video here.
Information Oscar ILS 21, descent flight level 100, Finland 2 Kilo Echo.
Finland 2 Kilo Echo correct, proceed direct Golf 931.
I'm gonna cut the video here, and then
Proceed
the
direct
next part will
Golf
be
931, Finland 2 Kilo Echo.
the next part will be the cruise and then the departure, the arrival into Oslo. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and stick around for the next episode. Thank you. Have a good one.